What is... Ooh! New Cannibal Corpse album, Torture. Holy shit. I'm gonna listen to this. Ow! Hey guys, what's up? It's Duncan here, KH fan. It's been a while since I've done an album review, but hey, I'm back. Anyway, I'm here to do an album review, like I said before, and if you didn't see from the title, I will be talking about the new Cannibal Corpse album entitled Torture. Now, this album, let's just say this is probably the biggest kick to the balls that I ever got in my entire life. Yeah, nearly 20 years. Yeah. So, this was a pretty punishing album. What did you think? My testicles popped and my ass really hurts. And I think I have I think I might have a brain tumor or something. My head really hurts. So anyway, back to the album review. Now, this is the 12th studio album that Cannibal Corpse has done. They recorded once again with producer Eric Rutan, the guitar player and lead vocalist for the death metal band Hate Eternal, who he also produced the previous two Cannibal Corpse albums, Kill and Evisceration Plague. Both those albums were punishing, but this album is... oh shit, I cannot get over how freaking brutal and heavy and shit this is. I mean, this is probably the most punishing Cannibal Corpse album I've ever heard in my life. And in my humble opinion, this is probably the best Cannibal Corpse album in the George Corpse Grinder Fisher era of, yeah, since Vile came out. So let's get started with the actual CD review. Well, let me just get through all the members first. The guitar work is incredibly technical compared to previous releases. Heavier guitar tone for me. Yeah, Pat O'Brien and Rob Barrett are just they're a guitar duo not to be messed with. These guys come up with amazing technical and heavy as fuck riffs, and it blows my mind how well they can still pull this off. Paul Mazurkiewicz, man, this guy's in his this guy's in his 40s and he still yet has this stamina that we all know that he had since the first album, Eaten Back to Life, which came out about 22 years ago, and he's still got the stamina after all these years. Some of, like, the drums, his drums just keep punching you in the face throughout the entire album, from Demented Aggression to the very last track on the album, which is Torn Through. The snare drum has a lot of punch and attack to it. The bass drums, they're not clicky, they're pretty damn punchy as well. I mean, this is a pretty rough mix to the drums. I mean, it sounds perfect with this album. And the thing that Paul Mazurkiewicz, I mean, he still has the same stamina, like I said before. And he can still play this fast stuff. It's the typical Cannibal Corpse drumming you've heard on every record. Like, he still does the same bomb blast he always has done since their early days in the 90s when Chris Barnes was still in the band. And he never lets up. I mean, it's still amazing how he can still play this type of music at his age. I mean, yeah, it's like Dave Lombardo still plays the stuff with Slayer just as fast as they did back in the 80s, but Cannibal Corpse, I mean, this stuff is pretty damn this is pretty damn hard. I mean, yeah, it's just the typical drumming. Alex Webster, my fucking god, this guy cannot, like, how can this guy not get any better? He's, in my opinion, probably easily top 5 bass players in metal. Like, I think the only bass player I would put ahead of him in metal today would be probably Steve Harris of Iron Maiden. But the bass playing on this album is just phenomenal. Like, stand out. Some of the tracks on here, like every Cannibal Corpse album, you can always hear the bass on that, because that's the thing that Alex Webster aims for. He aims for audibility in his bass playing. I mean, songs like Rabid, like at the end you can hear the bass. He does a little bass solo or whatever, but then like, and you also listen to like the Strangulation Chair, which is in my opinion, well, it's my favorite song on the album so far. After listening to it a few times, 2 minutes in, my jaw literally dropped on the floor when I heard that bass solo. I was just like, holy shit! Like Alex Webster, he's a mind-blowing bass player. I give him so much credit for this. I mean, he basically started this band with Paul and Chris Barnes back in the day, and look where it's at now. Last but certainly not least, George Corpsegrinder Fisher. This guy still can belt out his vocals just as well as he has on previous releases. His bullet, fast speed vocals on some of these songs is just like, how the hell can he do it doing this type of music with the style of vocals that he does? His vocals have gotten a little lower compared to Evisceration Plague, and his high screams are so damn piercing you'll want to punch a herd of babies. I don't know. That's just my little take on it. Yeah. Some of my favorite tracks on this album would have to be Scorch of Iron, which is like really freaking catchy, Strangulation Chair, Followed Home Then Killed, As Deep as the Knife Will Go, Encased in Concrete, Demented Aggression, Caged Contorted, and Crucifier Revenge. Those are some of my favorite songs on this album. If I were to give this album a score, I would easily give this a 9 out of 10. This is easily one of the best albums I've heard so far this year. I mean, there's much more to come, but Cannibal Corpse really raised the fucking bar on this one. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. And also, this before I end this, this is part of a 6-view with me, Absent Productions, CoverKillerNation, MrCannibalSpork, CountBlagorath, and runnerjma. I almost forgot him. CountBlagorath, CoverKillerNation, CannibalSpork, and also another reviewer, MrPossessedbyFire. They've all have reviews. I'll put their links in the description, as well as the other ones that are going to have reviews coming up. So thanks for watching this review. Check this album out. Go buy it on Tuesday, the 13th. I advise you should, because this album is definitely worth buying. It's a great album. You should definitely check it out. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Keep it metal, fuckers.